World War III has begun. When they start blowing up pipelines in Russia, their refineries, their oil depots, etc., and Iran gets into this war, you're going to see Brent crude, which is now selling at around $74 a barrel, go to about $130 a barrel. And that'll crash the global economy and the equity markets. And it will ignite World War III officially.
Brent crude is about to skyrocket from $74 to $130 per barrel, setting the stage for a global economic collapse, which Gerald Celente believes could officially spark World War III. As central banks around the world are trapped by high US interest rates, currencies weaken, and equity markets teeter on the brink of disaster. At the same time, home prices have surged to a record $416,000. But with affordability plummeting, only the wealthy are benefiting, leaving the middle and lower classes behind. This isn't just an economic downturn. It's a financial crisis that threatens to unravel global peace, pushing us closer to all-out conflict.
The Bank of England didn't cut their rates today, which is, to me, just stupid because the EU economy is an FUCK EU economy, UK economy, rather. It's bad. So they didn't cut them, but a lot of countries are, because they can't cut rates if the US rates are high because their currencies will go down. So the lower US cuts the rates, the more other central banks will cut their rates. And as we said, the higher gold prices will go. We've only been saying this for about a year and a half when rates were at the top. August home sales dropped more than expected as prices set new records. This is CNBC. You ready? The median price of a home in the United States, $416,000. It went up 3.1% from August of last year. We've been saying that despite the high interest rates, that there won't be a housing slump, even when everybody else was saying it. And then you look at the data. The median price, again, $416,700. There were 1.35 million units for sale at the end of August, according to the data. That's up 0.7% from July and nearly 23% from year on year. But it's still below the 6-month supply on average. So, yes, it's getting bad, but with these interest rates going down, the mortgage rates are going to go down too. Listen to this. Remember I told you what the median price was. Their houses selling in August were up significantly for homes priced above $750,000, but down from anything below $500,000. Could you imagine? So the rich are getting richer, and us plantation workers of slave land here keep getting poorer. And they keep stealing our money in the name of taxes, while the richest don't. Oh, remember all you Trump fans, huh? Oh, you like that tax cut he gave back in 2017 when the 1% got 64% of the benefits? And he bullshitted that they were going to use these tax breaks for capital improvements so we could have more jobs in America. And the next year was the biggest year of stock buybacks ever. Yeah, but we won't talk about that because, hey, I only like what I like. I like Trump. I like Harris. I like Donald Duck. I like Minnie Mouse. You ready for this? First-time home buyers made up just 26% of August sales, the all-time low from November 2021 at the height of the COVID war. So, economy outlook, supply worsens. Germany's economic sentiment worsened unexpectedly sharply this month. Another signal of weakness in Europe's largest economy as optimism continues to dwindle. Look at this tiny little article, no facts in there, data, buried in the Wall Street Journal. Buried. Germany's basically in a recession. They say it's Europe's largest economy. They forgot to mention it's the world's third largest economy. And then you look at the world's second largest economy, that's a shithole, China. First, hundreds of pages blew up, killing and injuring members of Lebanon's most effective military organization and filling the country's hospitals with wounded patients. Militants. Nearly 10% of the cases are critical, and many patients remain in intensive care. Medics perform 460 operations on hands, faces, and eyes. Isn't that great? Israel war, the Ukraine war, this is world war. And it's only going to be worse, and it could be nuclear war. If we don't unite for peace and fight for peace in a peaceful way, it's finished. Look at World War II in ancient history. And now look at the new weapons that they have. I was a speaker at Virginia Military Institute back in 2000, just before 9/11. And they asked me how the wars would be fought in the future, because again, I had a best-selling book, Trends 2000. And I wrote about new millennium warfare. Yeah, like nothing we've ever seen. And not a penny for peace to the billionaires. And you're banned for peace on the Western media. UN accuses Israel of massive violation of child rights treaty in Gaza. Yep, slaughtering them in front of everybody's eyes for everybody to see. Yep. More than nearly 12,000 minors have been killed in Gaza. That's not on the front pages of any of the Western media. Now it shows Russia bombed an apartment in Kyiv or someplace. Press. This is about Trump's hateful rhetoric has to stop, Harris says. But when asked about Gaza and what's going on in the Middle East, pressed on whether she would change the United States policy toward the Middle East, toward Israel, because of the Gaza conflict. Isn't that a nice word, conflict? Ms. Harris dodged the question 3 times, repeatedly pointing to a deal the Biden administration has struggled to broker between Israel and Hamas to institute a ceasefire in exchange for hostages held in Gaza. Quote, "We need to get it done immediately," she said. And that is my position. It is my policy. We need to get this deal done. But I'm not doing a fucking thing to do it. I'm just bullshitting you because I'm a bullshitter. Oh, and we're sending them more weapons to kill the people. Not a word about peace. The United States said reportedly that they warned Israel, do not accelerate this war against Lebanon. And they did it anyway. It's right in your Trends Journal, word for word. That was reported by the mainstream media. World War III has begun. When they start blowing up pipelines in Russia, their refineries, their oil depots, etc., and Iran gets into this war, you're going to see Brent crude, which is now selling at around $74 a barrel, go to about $130 a barrel. And that'll crash the global economy and the equity markets. And it will ignite World War III officially.
Now that you know how this financial crisis could be the spark that ignites World War III, you're going to want to stay ahead of what's coming next. Don't miss our next video, where we dive into the critical shifts happening in the global markets and what they mean for your financial future. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you won't want to miss this.